Thank you for coming to the 2025 State of the University Address. My name is Courtney Tax. I'm a senior in the Honors College here at USC studying political science and public health, and I have the privilege of serving as student body president. It is my honor today to introduce President Michael Amoritas to deliver his 2025 State of the University Address to USC. Michael Amoritas became the University of South Carolina's 30th president 3 years ago on July 1st, 2022. Today marks his third State of the University Address. Today, the president will reflect on some of the highlights of the past year and share insights about the future of the university. Please join me in welcoming President Michael Amoritas to the podium for this special occasion.
Thank you, Courtney, for your very kind remarks. Yeah, I'll put down here. Courtney and her fellow student government leaders have already been hard at work in these early weeks of the new semester. I want you to know that we very much appreciate your great leadership on campus and beyond the campus as well. Good morning to all of you. Welcome, and thank you for being here. It is a privilege for me to work with every one of you in support of the success of our university. I want to recognize and thank the members of our Board of Trustees who are joining us this morning and the Chairman of the Board, Thad Westbrook, as well as the members of the Board of Visitors. Over the past 3 years, we have worked diligently together to advance our ambitious goals for USC. Your dedication to our university has provided vital support at every step. And I'm delighted to see our mayor here as well, and I know how much engaged he is with the university. On countless occasions, I have stood before you and shared the words contained in our seal. Learning humanizes character and does not permit it to be cruel. We're living in a time when differences of opinion become divisions. Divisions among groups, among colleagues, among friends, even among family members, and in some cases tragically lead to violence and bloodshed. The assassination of Charlie Kirk on a university campus, as well as other terrible events in recent months in different parts of our country, are never justifiable in our society. As an academic community, we're obligated to continue the work of humanizing character, bridging our differences, and not permitting cruelty. To continue investing in transformative research that drives innovation and improves the quality of life for all. And to continue engagement with our communities, focusing on what unites us as fellow citizens and building a stronger South Carolina and a stronger society. This is how we should be living our mission and amplifying our impact. You have also heard me talking about our university's momentum during a challenging era for higher education. This is still true despite the increase in the challenges, since we operate in a complex landscape that seems to be evolving daily. But our momentum not only keeps us moving forward, it also gives us more strength, and our energy drives us to even greater success. This is our new standard, and this is the state of our university in 25. We are achieving more, we are growing our impact, we are setting new records, and most importantly, we are delivering better outcomes for our students and for our state. The strength of our momentum comes from working together. The success of our university is not the work of a few individuals, but of our entire community. And in the next few minutes, we'll take a look at what we have accomplished this past year. I'd like to start by talking about some new faces who have joined my cabinet in the past year, as well as some familiar faces who have taken on new leadership roles at USC. These individuals are helping to shape Carolina's future. Dan Dillon became the Vice President for Marketing last November. During this presentation, I will share with you a video he and his group have provided for the beginning of a new USC marketing campaign. Jeremiah Donati came to USC in January of this year as our new athletics director. Just a few weeks ago, Jeremiah notched a great win by finalizing a new athletics agreement with Nike. Don't expect Nike shirts today. You will have to wait until next summer. Anna Edwards became my new chief of staff in January. Anna has been a cornerstone in our Division of Student Affairs and Academic Success for 2 decades. After 20 years in student affairs, she has seen everything and she has handled everything. Marianne Fitzpatrick is no stranger to many of you, but as of August 11th, she has a new role. Marianne has great academic experience in many administrative leadership roles, and she has now started a 2-year appointment as Executive Vice President for Academic Affairs and Provost. Craig Wilson is the newest face to join our leadership team. He is the new Chancellor of Palmetto College, and he started just 1 week ago. And finally, Sarah Kirby will join us next week as our first Associate Vice President for Clinical Affairs to oversee the planning, design, and execution of USC's new neurological and rehabilitation hospital and clinics. This is probably the most important project in our recent history, and we're excited to have Sarah's experienced leadership in this key position. The past year has been one for record-setting achievements across the university in enrollment, in research, in fundraising, and in legislative support, among many other areas. But let's start with our students. First, we set new record in applications for admission. This is very important because this number tells us how well our message is reaching prospective students. This year, 60,000 students submitted applications for admission. 60,000. This is an increase of 13% from the previous year and 43% since 22. Applications increased from South Carolina residents and from out-of-state students at roughly the same percentages. I want to thank the guru of enrollment, Scott Verzile, and his team for their excellent work. These prospective students want to come here because we have a nationally acclaimed first-year student experience, well-known and top-ranked academic programs, and growing opportunities for research, internships, and career-building skills. Our facilities, a great Greek life on campus, and maybe a Greek president and a first lady, our athletics, our southern hospitality, and even our weather, they don't stay here in the summer, all of these play a role as well. You may know that the number of high school graduates will start decreasing next year and will reduce the nation's college applicant pool. Many higher education institutions across the country are worried about this change. But in South Carolina and beyond, the brand of USC is very strong and is becoming stronger every year. We have established a great reputation, and all indicators suggest that we will go against the trend. I would also like to emphasize that South Carolina students have priority access to the state's flagship university. New initiatives have made it possible for us to admit, enroll, and award degrees to more South Carolinians than ever before in our history. In the fall of 23, we began guaranteeing admission to South Carolina students in the top 10% of their high school graduating class. In 2 years, we had a 20% increase in the freshman class from this category. What this says to me is that the best South Carolina high school graduates are choosing more and more the University of South Carolina. And we are not just recruiting and enrolling South Carolinians. We also graduate more South Carolinians from the entire state, including small towns and rural areas. This is a critical component of our mission because we are the university for the entire state of South Carolina. We're also making college more affordable for all South Carolinians. With the continued support of the General Assembly and Governor McMaster, we have been able to hold in-state tuition at exactly the same level for 7 years in a row. During this 7-year period, the inflation has been approximately 30%. With this in mind, next time you hear about the increased cost of higher education, please remember that we have effectively decreased the cost of higher education here. We're also in the second year of offering the USC commitment, which covers the cost of tuition and fees for South Carolina students who come from lower income families, and they graduate in the top 10% of their high school class. We had 100 of them coming in the freshman class this year. After the record-breaking numbers of applications, it is no surprise that our enrollment numbers also reached new heights. We enrolled a record-setting 7,800 freshmen, and for the first time, enrollment crossed the 40,000 mark, with 40,200 students on campus this fall. We are growing. We are growing to meet the specific needs of our growing state and to fulfill our educational mission. And we are in the right position to balance this well with strong resources. As a result of our growth, last May, we awarded a record 6,062 degrees, and we had to add an extra ceremony to our spring commencement exercises. That was a lot of hands to shake. But frankly, I love it. I enjoy it, and I'm proud of each and every one of these graduates. 2 months after I became president in 22, we held the first Imagine Carolina brainstorming retreat with hundreds of students who volunteered their ideas to improve the student experience on campus. It's time for a second retreat after 3 years, and we will do this again this coming Sunday. Over the last 3 years, we have taken action on many of our student suggestions. We significantly improved student advising, which they told us 3 years ago was a priority for them. 3 years later, with our new centralized advising system created by the Office of the Provost, we were recognized as a national leader in this area. 30 other universities, 30, because sometimes think I said 13, 30 other universities have consulted with us because of our success with the new advising model we have implemented. Overall, student satisfaction with advising has climbed to 85%, with improvement in all areas of advising: academic guidance, experiential learning, and career readiness. We have also made significant headway in improving Wi-Fi on campus. Vice President Bryce Bible and the Division of IT have greatly improved the wireless coverage in the Thomas, Cooper, and the Holling libraries, the Russell House, and the Kloskip and Gabriel. And more classrooms and student spaces will be upgraded during this academic year. We have also increased the resources for mental and physical health, which was another very important need highlighted by the students. We adopted an integrated care model with student health services and counseling, and provided support in more than 50,000 student appointments last year. And campus recreation, which actually needs another facility with the number of students that we have, recorded nearly 750,000 student engagements last year with physical health, activity, and well-being opportunities. And then there is parking. And parking is always a challenge in an urban environment. But even there, we are making some gains. For example, we installed a new parking guidance system in the Bull Street garage with real-time guidance to open spaces and reminders also of where you parked through a new app. And we have expanded services such as night shuttles and increased the number of available parking permits. And the list goes on. But I want to confirm that our priorities continue to be consistent with the needs of our students, and I look forward to hearing from them on Sunday. I want to thank Vice President Rex Stoliver and the Student Affairs Division for the outstanding support they provide to our students. Another issue we are focusing on is artificial intelligence. This is going to provide an opportunity not only for our students, but also for our faculty and staff. AI is increasingly playing a role in all of our lives, and this is just the beginning. We want everyone to have the opportunity to learn more about this new set of tools and can be used effectively in their work. One of our most accomplished alumni, Darla Moore, was at the business school on Monday, and she made a very similar case to our students, much more elegantly than me today. In August, we became the first campus in the state to offer free enterprise access to ChatGPT for our entire university community. Already many of you are finding success with this tool, while others are learning at this point. We're excited about the possibilities, we're learning and adapting for the future, and we're positioned to be a leader among our national peers for the use of AI on campus. You may have heard me talk about the importance of internships in preparing our students for the transition from degree to career. With the financial support of our state, our South Carolina internship program is thriving. In the third year of this program, we're expanding in-state internships in high-demand industries in an effort to retain USC graduates in our state after graduation. To date, approximately 1,300 student applications have been approved, and more than $3.6 million has been awarded to fund internships at more than 400 businesses and organizations across our state. This fall, we added a fifth option to the list of undergraduate interdisciplinary certificates that we started 2 years ago. It should be no surprise that the newest certificate focuses on AI literacy, based on what I said just a few minutes ago. Every one of these certificates addresses the skills that employers nationwide are looking for, and we are enabling our students to gain these skills while at the same time they're completing their degrees. In 2023, we started with 25 students enrolling in one of the certificates. This fall, more than 1,200 students are taking advantage of these opportunities, and we don't count the ones that they have already graduated. Finally, we launched this past year a first-generation center and living and learning community in Maxey College under the leadership and the great work of the Office of the Provost. We have already received very positive feedback from the students, and the initial data we have indicates significant academic improvement among the students who are using the support provided by this center. We're also very proud of our student athletes. Once again, they had a great year. Our stellar women's basketball team and the world-renowned coach Don Stelly, they won their third straight SEC championship, and they reached the NCAA Final Four for the fifth consecutive year. But it was not only Coach Stelly's program that won an SEC championship. For the second year in our history, the Gamecocks won 3 SEC championships in a single season, with the equestrian and women's golf teams bringing home titles as well. At the same time, the football team and the SEC Coach of the Year, Shane Beamer, came very close to the college football playoff, and there is still hope for this year. Don't give up, right? And the softball team and their national coach of the year, the national coach of the year this time, Ashley Chastain, were so close to a trip to Oklahoma. But the best accomplishment of our athletics department is that our student athletes have completed 37 straight semesters with an average GPA of 3.0, and they ranked last year in the top 3 in our conference. And by the way, our conference includes 5 AAU schools. This is what student athletes means. None of these efforts to support our students could succeed without the hard work of our faculty and our staff. To continue our momentum and growth, it is critical to support our faculty. We committed to increasing the size of our faculty through a hiring initiative that started 2 years ago. 162 new faculty have joined our institution since August of 2024. So a full year, in a full year, we had 162 new faculty. At a time when some other universities are freezing new hires or even eliminating some positions, we are attracting excellent colleagues at all ranks from across the country. Many of our individual faculty members were recognized for their achievements during the past year. Unfortunately, I cannot list them all, but I want to highlight a few. Jessica Barnes, Associate Professor in the Department of Geography and School of Earth, Ocean and Environment, was awarded a 2025 Guggenheim Fellowship. This is one of the nation's most prestigious honors for scholars, artists, and scientists. Her fellowship will support her research about the effects of air pollution and its specific air pollution in London. Nursing professors Dimitrios Absair, Caroline Harmon, Cheryl Mitchell, and Melissa Malki were inducted into the American Academy of Nursing. This prestigious honor recognizes their contributions to nursing science, education, leadership, and health policy. Scott Weiss, music professor and director of orchestras at USC, received the South Carolina Order of the Palmetto, the highest civilian honor awarded to South Carolinians by the governor for extraordinary achievements, contributions, and service. Greg Carbone, a professor of geography, was named the Michael J. Manco Distinguished Professor of the Year, USC's most prestigious undergraduate teaching award. He is recognized for his dynamic and innovative teaching methods. Guan Wang, Professor of Electrical Engineering, was elected as a 2024 National Academy of Inventors Fellow, the highest professional distinction awarded solely to inventors. And Pei Yin Hank, Professor of Health Sciences Policy and Management, received the 2025 Outstanding Researcher Award from the National Rural Health Association. These awards are great indicators not only for these individuals, but for the overall quality of our faculty. We had a great year in research, setting a new record for the third year in a row. We attracted $323 million in sponsored awards during the last fiscal year, supporting projects in critical areas in the STEM fields. Over the past 3 years, we have increased our sponsored awards by 36%. The numbers indicate that the university is doing very well in a shifting and uncertain funding environment. And we are also ensuring that our focus does not waver as we continue groundbreaking research and projects that make a tangible difference for South Carolinians. One of these awards was to our College of Education, focused on gaining early awareness and readiness for undergraduate programs. This project, led by Principal Investigator Ali Bryan, is funded by $5 million from the US Department of Education. With this grant, USC is leading a 7-year statewide effort to help more than 21,000 South Carolina middle and high school students from low-income backgrounds as they prepare for college. This project provides tutoring, mentoring, summer bridge programs, financial aid guidance, and more to ensure that these students have the skills and the support to thrive in college and beyond. Another research project with a strong South Carolina and national impact is being led by Benjamin Jackson, a professor of orthopedic surgery at our School of Medicine in Columbia. His research is funded with $850,000 from the US Army and is conducted at Fort Jackson. It focuses on a new treatment for soldiers who have been diagnosed with tibial stress fractures, a common and debilitating injury for basic trainees and also infantry soldiers. Without effective treatment, soldiers lose time on duty, delay completion of their training, and even face medical discharge. The new treatment Dr. Jackson is studying involves the use of bone-building medication with the potential to significantly reduce the recovering time. Dr. Lisa Featon from the Arnold School of Public Health received a $1.3 million grant from the National Institute of Health to study the diagnostic identification of language and reading disorders among bilingual learners. This project aims to improve how schools identify language and reading disorders among young bilingual children, particularly in this case, Spanish-English learners. Currently, these students are often misdiagnosed or overlooked. Dr. Fitton's research aims to establish accurate, evidence-based diagnostic tools to ensure that these students get the right support early, and as a result, improve literacy outcomes and reduce reading difficulties and sometimes school dropout. And finally, our Carolina Institute for Battery Innovation in the Molinaroli College of Engineering and Computing has been awarded a total of $25.5 million in federal and state funding today. This institute is focused on advancing grid-scale battery technologies and supporting their commercialization. USC is becoming a global leader in this area. I saw a ranking recently from a specialty magazine that they have in this area and sets us in the top 3 in the world. It's good to see USC ahead of MIT. I hadn't seen this before. So, led by chemical engineering professor Bill Mustaine, I said chemical engineering professor, the research emphasizes materials, innovation, component testing, and grid integration. Within the next 18 months, the Institute plans to open the first phase of a new facility on Wally Street as a dedicated home for research, manufacturing, teaching, and partnerships, which is important, partnerships with industries that will send their researchers to work all of their time here on our campus. I want to thank our Vice President for Research, Julius Friedrichson, and his team for their ongoing efforts and investment in faculty and infrastructure to enhance our competitive edge in research. The support from this office is also helping to increase our grants submissions and to improve the overall quality and competitiveness of the submissions that we send. You may have heard that USC was named one of the best employers in our state for 25 by Forbes. We depend on our dedicated staff members to achieve everything we are talking about today, and to have a great staff senate to represent the interests of our staff and to keep the lines of communication open with the university leaders. We celebrated our second annual Staff Appreciation Day in May, and this past year we also extended the Staff Excellence Awards. 10 outstanding staff members received the inaugural awards last spring, and we really celebrated what they have achieved. We're also seeing impressive results across campus thanks to our staff engagement with the Office of Organizational Excellence, led by Stacey Bradley and her group. We established this office 2 years ago to improve service delivery and operational efficiency. More than 50 departments have taken advantage of this resource. Not only are we seeing improvements in time saved, quality of service, and cost efficiency, but we are also attracting national attention as a model for other universities. And that's the second time that I'm saying we're becoming a model for other universities. I already mentioned our plans for a new clinical neurological hospital and rehabilitation center. This is a giant step forward for us. Our vision is to create South Carolina's first standalone comprehensive medical facility, a facility which specializes entirely in the integrated care of patients with brain and nervous system illnesses. A world-class facility for the 21st century, the first of its kind in the Southeast. The need for this facility was immediately recognized by our state's leaders when we asked for their support. We are in full agreement that we cannot accept our state's current position among the worst in the country for death rates from brain trauma and stroke, as well as being in the bottom 5 states as a neurology desert. As the flagship university of the states, we have the obligation to step in and address this problem. With robust support from our legislature, our governor, and the State Department of Health and Human Services, we will provide critical neurological care, advanced neurosurgery, innovative treatment and research, and on-site rehabilitation. We have the vision, and we can attract the expertise needed, and I hope you will be as excited as I am to watch this take shape and transform the quality of life in our state. The facility will also engage and elevate all of our health sciences colleges, as should be expected for an academic healthcare system. And finally, we'll work to further strengthen our relationships with the other hospitals in our area, with whom we have been good partners for many, many years. Another brand new initiative taking shape on our USC campus right now is the Center for American Civic Leadership and Public Discourse, which was approved by our trustees last June and held their first event last Friday. Since today is Constitution Day and Citizenship Day, this is the perfect time to talk about it. This center will explore and teach core elements of our civic life and responsibilities as Americans, and will promote bipartisan discussion, which is not very common these days. If you missed last Friday's excellent event, and I missed it too because we had thousands of parents that evening, there are lectures planned for tonight and tomorrow at the law school in honor of today's federal holiday. We cannot continue to achieve our goals without an improved infrastructure. Unless you have driven by the Bull Street district lately, most of you have probably not seen the cranes and the construction crews working at our new health sciences campus. But you will have the opportunity to see them soon on our main campus as our master plan moves forward with more projects in the coming year. We have already completed a few small projects just in time for the fall semester. In August, we held a ribbon cutting for the Garnet Station dining area on the first floor of the Russell House, and it has already become a popular destination for the students at the center of campus. One of the things our students asked for during Imagine Carolina in 22 was to improve the dining and seating options at our student union, and the Garnet Station accomplishes part of this. With the new facility, we served 17% more meals on the first day of class compared to the same day last year, which is a great progress. We also opened a new pedestrian bridge over Witt Street, making the walk from the South Quad to the main campus, and there's a lot of traffic there, not only a little bit shorter, but more importantly, safer. The East Tower of Science and Technology building was completed in time for the fall semester. We have added more classrooms, more labs, and all of them new and state-of-the-art, and study spaces to complete the work on this building at the intersection of Main and Green. Finally, the Thornwell Residence Hall will be completed. We'll see the renovation there, which will be completed in October. This will allow us to start moving students from McBride to this modernized building right next to the Horseshoe. As I mentioned before, the cranes and hard hats are very visible at the Health Sciences campus. Last February, we broke ground for our new School of Medicine. 7 months later, you can see that several floors of the framework are in place, and the structure is already a visible feature of the skyline. Everything is on schedule, and we expect our School of Medicine to move there in the fall of 27. Nearby renovations are also progressing steadily at the 15 Med Park building that will house our USC Brain Health Center, which we are expecting to open to patients this coming spring. This building will be equipped to offer advanced diagnostics, treatments, and research. It will also serve as the hub for our statewide brain health network, which already has logged more than 1,000 patient visits at the first 4 clinics we opened this year in underserved communities across the South Carolina. These are all projects under construction today, but there is much more to come. I mentioned we will be moving students out of their temporary housing assignment in McBride this fall. With that move, McBride will have served its final students. and they're very excited about it, by the way. We will demolish this entire structure in the spring and replace it with a modern 900 beds facility that you see right there to the right. Just across Sumter Street from McBride is our Honors College Residence Hall. We will finally build the third wing of this hall, adding another much needed 180 beds, and that's on the left. Together, these two projects on opposite sides of Sumter Street will allow us to house more than 1,000 students closer to the geographic core of our campus. Both projects are due to begin construction next summer, right, demolition in the spring, and will be completed for the fall of 28. Speaking of the heart of campus, we have work to do at the Thomas Cooper Library. Renovations will begin there next year and will be completed in phases over multiple years while the building remains in use, and that's a difficult project. Our goal is to replace aging electrical and mechanical systems, but also to transform the library's shared spaces into more modernized and usable destinations where students can study and they can interact. If you go there on a weekday evening, you will see immediately the need for this kind of spaces. Having more students living near our historic core means we need to revitalize and redesign some of our historic buildings in the Horseshoe and Gibbs Green. McKissick is a perfect example. This is the building that all prospective students go through when they visit, but only very few go back once that they enroll. We're now in the design phase to reimagine this building, and you can see how vital and attractive it can become. We expect to start renovation in 27. We're also in the process of selecting an architect to design another important new building, the STEM Innovation and Research Building, which will be at the corner of Main and Green in front of the Science and Technology Building. This fits with our master plan goal to expand and improve our campus research footprint, especially for interdisciplinary teams. But it's also very important to create a new innovation center, bringing together students and faculty from different backgrounds, something that we don't have right now, or we have very little place. And finally, we have planned to create more recreational spaces behind 300 Main Street and improve the recreational fields off Bluff Road. This project should begin next summer and be ready for the students to use next fall. Executive Vice President Ed Walton and our USC architect Derek Gruner and their excellent teams have been very busy during the last 2 years preparing for all of this, and the news for them is that they will be even busier in the next years. I want to thank them for these great improvements, but also I want to thank them for the work of the financial group, which secures the funding needed. Without money, we cannot do anything. In philanthropic circles, donors are also noticing that USC is a great investment. We have just witnessed by far the most successful fundraising year in university history, with $260 million in private support during the fiscal year of 2025. Or, as our Vice President for Development, Michelle Dodenhoff, likes to describe it, we raised more than $250 million. It takes a great effort and a great development group to reach such an achievement. In April, we celebrated the largest single gift in the history of our university, $75 million from alumnus Peter McCausland, his wife Bonnie, and the McCausland Foundation. This gift will transform the College of Arts and Sciences, and in recognition, the college has been named the McCausland College of Arts and Sciences. This also marked the naming of 3 USC colleges in less than 2 years, following the Joseph F. Rice School of Law and the Molinaroli College of Engineering and Computing. These are savvy and very successful professionals who have confidence in USC as a good investment and who want their names affiliated with our university. And more is coming, by the way. But it was not only multi-million-dollar gifts that helped achieve this milestone fundraising year. Among those giving to USC were more than 41,000 donors who want to be a part of our forward momentum. This includes over 18,000 alumni, more than 10,000 first-time contributors, and a record of $43.5 million in new corporate and foundation commitments. Several of our colleges and units across campus also had cause to celebrate donor gifts last year. The School of Medicine in Columbia received its largest ever gift, an anonymous $23 million donation, and don't ask me, I don't know who these people were, to support interdisciplinary research, simulation-based learning, and scholarships. The Molinaroli College of Engineering and Computing announced a gift to establish the new Dr. Barbara Hickman Y Innovation, Inclusion, and Impact Center focused on expanding access to engineering and computing careers. And finally, the largest single gift in the history of athletics from Blanchard Machinery, which is led by two alumni, Boyd and Rosier Blanchard. We also experienced another strong year with the performance of our investments at our USC Foundation under the leadership of Jason Kasky. Coupled with significant donor support, this led to an endowment of $1.1 billion, the highest in university's history, and the first time that we have exceeded $1 billion mark at the end of a fiscal year. As I mentioned earlier, we have also received great financial support from Governor McMaster and the General Assembly. A significant portion of this historic level support is funding for the new hospital and the Brain Health Network, the tuition mitigation, student internships, energy innovation, and faculty hiring in critical areas. These are all core components of our mission to serve South Carolina, and our government relationships group is very effective communicating this message again and again and again. The newest economic impact study released this year shows a $7.4 billion annual impact on the economy of the state. $7.4 billion. We're educating a highly skilled workforce. We are leading in innovative research which supports businesses, industry, and healthcare. We are creating jobs, and we are contributing to the tax base. It is clear that the University of South Carolina is a great investment for the state of South Carolina, and we are communicating this, and please communicate it as well, every one of you. An example of this is the South Carolina Apex Accelerator, which is part of USC's Office of Economic Engagement, led by Steve Cutler, Dean Steve Cutler. This office is dedicated to building partnerships that are driving economic and workforce development. The accelerator makes connections among our university, South Carolina businesses, and the government, helping these businesses to navigate and secure federal contracts. Just to give you an example, over the past year, we assisted more than 2,200 small businesses located in all 46 counties of South Carolina to obtain $537 million in Defense Department contracts and subcontracts. And this is just one example of how USC fosters economic growth statewide. All right, I promised you a video this morning, and since nobody has left yet, we will do two of them. The time has come. Our Vice President for Marketing, Dan Dillon, and his brand collaborative team has been working to launch a new brand campaign, and the first ad in this campaign aired last Saturday. In case you missed it, let's watch it together now.
Here at the University of South Carolina, I didn't have to choose between playing D1 ball and law school. You know, ever since I came here, my world just started expanding. They put me on this hallway with a bunch of doors, and then every door could be an opportunity. It's been a whole community of people who helped me transform my competitiveness on the court to doing meaningful work. I came here as a competitor. I left more certain of who I am and the impact I want to make.
The goal of this campaign is to highlight our alumni and how they discovered who they are and what they were meant to do while attending the University of South Carolina. You may also have seen ads highlighting the value and impact of our university for the benefit of South Carolina and its citizens. This perspective is reflected in the messaging of that campaign, which correctly describes USC as the University for South Carolina. Let's take a look at this sample video as well.
If you live in South Carolina, you don't just know the University of South Carolina, you feel it. It's a force for good. It's the university for doctors, for engineers, for entrepreneurs, for ensuring every community has access, for job sites, hospitals, and main streets. We're not just the University of South Carolina, we're the university for South Carolina.
And those of you who have not seen your college in this one, you will see them in other ones. We have all the colleges covered. Don't worry about that. Keep an eye out for these campaigns as we share our unique story with our key audiences and share them with some of your friends and your family members. I hope you share my pride in the work we have done together over the past year, and I hope what you have heard this morning will energize you for the road ahead. It's not an easy road ahead, but we are doing great right now. Before we close, I want to say a special thank you to our Carolina band for providing the music for us this morning. And they will put the final touch on our event with the alma mater in just a moment after Courtney's closing remarks. I know many of us shared the pride of seeing the Carolina band perform last November in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade under very challenging, let's put it this way, weather conditions. They represented our university beautifully in front of a nationwide audience with 17 million of viewers. I also want to thank the many individuals who worked on organizing and executing today's event. Thank you also to everyone who came to celebrate what we have accomplished over the past year. And remember, we are ready to tackle the next challenges and make our vision a reality. Forever to thee. I'm going to take my...
Will everyone please join me in thanking President Emeritus for today's remarks and for his leadership at the University of South Carolina. When we leave the ballroom in just a few moments, you are invited to join us for refreshments in the hallway lounge. I want to let you know that today's event is a Garnet Bites event. Garnet Bites is a collaborative, web-based initiative on our campus that lets our students, staff, and faculty enjoy available food after a catered event, so we reduce food waste and help feed our community. Gamecocks are welcome to sign up online for notifications, and more than 1,500 people are currently subscribers. Before we close today's event, will you please help me close up this morning's event by singing the alma mater as we are led by the Carolina Band.